Most people don't want truth. They want beliefs that make them feel safe. They want explanations that protect their identity, calm their fears, and make the world feel predictable. And this is the uncomfortable reality. Many human beings would rather defend an illusion than face a truth that forces them to change. The problem is that beliefs rarely appear as beliefs. They appear as reality itself. They feel obvious, natural, and unquestionable. A belief never says, "I am only a mental construction." Instead, it says, "This is simply how the world is," and that is exactly why beliefs become so powerful. Human beings often defend illusions for an entire lifetime because those illusions feel emotionally familiar. Many beliefs survive not because they are true, but because they reduce anxiety and create psychological comfort. Emotional security is frequently more important to people than objective reality. Modern society amplifies this constantly. Algorithms reward outrage because outrage keeps people emotionally engaged. Politics rewards simplification because complexity is difficult to sell. Media rewards emotional reactions because fear creates attention. And social groups reward people who repeat familiar narratives instead of questioning them. This creates a dangerous cultural condition. People slowly stop searching for truth and begin defending identity instead. The moment a belief becomes emotionally connected to identity, criticism no longer feels intellectual. It feels personal. It feels threatening. And that is why people become defensive so quickly. We can see this everywhere. In politics, religion, online communities, social movements, and even spirituality, many people react emotionally the moment deeply rooted beliefs are challenged. The issue is no longer whether something is true. The issue becomes whether identity feels safe. Many individuals describe themselves as open-minded, but openness often disappears the moment emotional certainty is threatened. Truth becomes secondary, while belonging and psychological comfort become more important than honest self-examination. Spirituality is not immune to this problem. In fact, spirituality can become another sophisticated illusion system, when every emotion is automatically treated as truth. Not every feeling is intuition. Not every coincidence is a cosmic sign. Not every inner voice represents wisdom or higher consciousness. Sometimes fear speaks through spirituality. Sometimes unresolved pain disguises itself as spiritual insight. Sometimes the ego hides behind the language of awakening, enlightenment, and higher awareness. And this is why spirituality without critical self-reflection can become deeply misleading. True spirituality is not about collecting comforting beliefs. It is about developing the courage to examine ourselves honestly. Real consciousness begins when we stop questioning only the outside world and begin questioning our own assumptions, emotional patterns, inherited narratives, and unconscious fears. Most human beings are conditioned to seek confirmation instead of transformation. They collect information that supports what they already believe and avoid information that threatens their worldview. Psychology calls this confirmation bias, but spiritually it reflects something even deeper: the human tendency to protect emotional comfort at almost any cost. Society benefits from this tendency. Fearful people are easier to manipulate. Emotionally reactive people are easier to influence. Divided societies are easier to control. And this is one reason why modern culture often amplifies emotional certainty instead of deeper awareness. Truth has therefore become increasingly difficult in the modern world. Not because information is unavailable, but because people are emotionally attached to their own narratives. Many individuals do not truly seek understanding. They seek reassurance that their current worldview is correct. Real maturity begins when we stop worshiping certainty. It begins when we become capable of living without constant psychological protection and without the desperate need to always be right. Truth can challenge us, unsettle us, and sometimes completely transform the stories we built our identity upon. Perhaps consciousness is not about becoming spiritually superior or intellectually untouchable. Perhaps consciousness simply means becoming honest enough to recognize where we are still trapped inside our own illusions. Because truth does not always comfort the ego. Sometimes truth destroys the very narratives that once made us feel safe. And maybe that is exactly where freedom begins. If you want spirituality without illusion, consciousness without comfort, and truth without spiritual decoration, subscribe to Spirit Online. This channel is for people who are ready to think deeper, question harder, and live more honestly.